to my channel. So in this video there are two goals. The first goal is to see how to solve this problem. I'm going to solve the question. I'm going to find the solution and do some live coding here. And the second goal is to see how we should behave in a real interview. So before we start the coding question, I would really appreciate that if you can help subscribe this channel because it can help me to grow. So thanks in advance. Let's take a look at this question. So remember, the first step in a real interview is always try to understand the question. So please don't jump into the coding part too quickly because that's a really red flag. So the first step is always try to understand, and if there's anything unclear, please clarify with the interviewer, and at the same time think about some edge cases. So let's take a look at this question. You're given two integer arrays, num1, num2, both of unique elements, okay? So nums1 is a subset of the nums2. You find all the next greater numbers from nums1's element in the corresponding places in nums2. The next greater number of the num(x) in num1 is the first greater number to its right in nums2. So if it doesn't exist, return -1 for this number. So let's see the first example. We have 412 and nums2 is 1342. So for number 4, in num2 it is here and there's no next great number. For 1 is here, the next great number is 3. For 2, the next great number, there's no next great number, okay? So let's see the constraints. It says that both nums1 and nums2 are not going to be empty. And all the numbers within nums1 and nums2 are unique. And all the integers in nums1 also appear in nums2. Okay, so each number is between 0 to 10k. So it says the follow-up is to find let's say the length of nums1 is n, and then the length of nums2 is m. So it is O(n plus m) solution. So it wants us to find the O(n plus m) solution. So I think the question itself is pretty clear, just how to solve this problem. The first thing I can think about is a brute force solution. Like for each of the number, we just do one pass through the nums2 to see where it is and what the next greater number is. So that one is going to be O(n times m's O(n)m solution. It's not n plus m solution. So I would say this one. I think the other solution, which is better, is we could make use of the stack. So for the stack, it is actually for nums2, and except for the stack, we also need to have a hash map. So the hash map is the number to the next greater number. Key is the number, value is the next greater number. And for the stack, it's something like this. Every time when we encounter a number, if it is empty, we just push into the stack. Otherwise, if the number is larger than the top element of the stack, then we keep popping the top element within the stack until the stack is empty, or until the top element of the stack is larger than the number we are currently having. So let's say we have the 3, and the top element is 1, so we are going to pop the 1 here and add it into the map. So we have the map something like 1, 2, 3 now. And then when we encounter the 4, you see that 3 is smaller, so we have the next key value pair, which is 3, 4. And then we add 4 into it. And then when we encounter 2, because it is smaller than the top element, so we are not going to update the maps. Instead, we just push into the stack. So on and so forth until we go through every number within the nums2. So now we have the map which contains a number to the next greater number. So we just need to go through nums1 one time to try to get the answer. So like for this one, we have if the key exists in the map, then we just find the value and insert into the final result array. Otherwise, we just put a -1 for that position. So having said that, this is definitely a O n plus m solution. For step 3, it is about doing some coding work. So for coding, correctness is a major one. Readability is also a major one. So also don't be too slow. Let's do some coding work. So like I said, we first have a stack. We don't need to check the edge cases because it says that both array are not going to be empty. So we have the integer stack. And then we have a map. So the map is this one, like the number to the next greater number. Key is an integer, value is an integer. So we are having next greater map. So we are going to do one pass through every number within nums2. 2. So if stack dot is empty, or if the stack dot peak is smaller than num, is larger than num, then we are going to have stack dot push the number, and then we are going to continue here. Otherwise, it means it is not empty, and also the top element of the number is smaller. So I would say, well, stack not stack dot is empty, and stack dot peak is smaller than number. You're going to pop the, so int top is equal to stack dot pop, and then we are going to update the map. So this is called next greater map dot put. So this is top to num. All right, and yeah, so this is going to be something like this, and then at the end we are going to push the number into the stack dot push num, and finally we are going to do one pass through the array. So let's say we have a result nums1 dot length. Okay, so we do one pass through every number within nums1. So if the number is within next greater map, if next dot contains key, if it contains a num, then we are going to say, oh, actually we need to do index based. So this is nums1i. If it contains nums1i, then we are going to have rei as next greater number. I'll get nums1i. Otherwise, it is something like we need to have rei as equal to -1. And finally, we just return the result. So that's it for the coding part. So after you're done with coding, please do some testing. So for simplicity, I just use this platform to help us debug. Okay, so let's do a submission. Alright, so it seems like everything works well now, and that's it for this coding question. So if you have any question regarding the solution or whatever, feel free to leave some comments below. If you like this video, please help subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.